नमस्कार. द डिबेटच्या या स्पेशल एडिशना भितर तुमकां सगळ्यांक येवकार. विशय असा आयचो तो म्हळ्यार द गोवन आणि निल्सनान जो सर्वे केला गोंय सरकाराच्या परफॉर्मन्साचेर, त्याच प्रमाणे गोंयाक जे म्हत्वाचे ज्वलंत मुद्दे आसात त्या ज्वलंत मुद्द्यांचेर जो सर्वे केला तो सर्वे डिस्कस करपा खातीर आमी जमल्यात. आनीक काल प्रुडंटान आपले कांय भाग तुमकां दाखयल्ले. आज गोवना भितर सविस्तरपणान तो सर्वे आयला, तुम्ही तो पळोवपाक शकता. आनी त्या सर्वेचेर ही भासाभास जातली. पहिली माने आसा म्हजे बरोबर द गोवनाचे एडिटर इन चीफ सुजय गुप्ता, तांणी तो सर्वे केला. सुजय वेलकम. दुसरी म्हजे बरोबर आसात भाजपाचे विष्णू सूर्यवाग. तिसरी म्हजे बरोबर आसात सगळे सोशल कॉमेंटरी म्हणपाक आमी ते ऑस्कर रिबेलो. चौथी म्हजे बरोबर आसात काँग्रेसीचे रमाकांत भाई खलप. आनी पांचवी म्हजे बरोबर आसात लोकमताचे संपादक राजू नाईक. आमी एक एक करून जे रिजल्ट्स आसात ते सगळे आमी सांगतले. महत्वाची गजाल जी आसा ती म्हळ्यार ह्या सर्वेच्या रिजल्टांतल्यान कितें भायर सरना. कांय गजाली अश्यो आसात ज्यो शॉकात करतल्यो, कांय गजाली अपेक्षीत कशें आसात. पण एक सुजया कडच्यान पयलीं जाणून घेवया जे वॉट वॉज द रिजन बिहायंड कंडक्टिंग दिस सर्वे, एंड इफ यू कॅन टेल अस इन ब्रीफ what are the top 5 highlights?
See, firstly, the highlight of this is that it's a mood of Goa survey. It's not an exit poll, it is not a pre-poll exercise, and it is very important to note that in this survey, the fine print is equally important, if not more important than the print. Because while surveys are black and white exercises, but I think since this was a mood survey, we broke it down into age groups, we broke it down into gender, and most importantly, we broke it down into income groups and regions across North and South Goa. The reason why we gave it to Nielsen is because Nielsen is one of the premier information gathering and dissemination agencies globally, and they've done it for several media organizations. So what is very pertinent to note is that while we have gone across 10 specific constituencies, those constituencies were very well chosen to give a proper representation, 5 from north and 5 from south, but also we looked into the demographics of each constituency. We went into the mining areas, we went into the beach belts, we tried to look at all kinds of
what
demographics.
Are the top 5 highlights of the survey?
Well, the top 5 highlights is that by and large people seem to be on paper satisfied with the government, but only just, and that's extremely important. What is also very important is that if you go from higher income groups to lower income groups, the satisfaction levels drop from higher to lower across all parameters. Okay, that's second. Thirdly, what is also very significant is that the voters in North Goa seem to be slightly, or in fact a lot more disinclined or disillusioned with Manohar Parrikar's governance rather than people in South Goa, which is contrary to the popular belief at this point of time.
सगळ्यात पहिली जी आमचे कडेन जी स्टॅटिस्टिक्स आसा ती म्हळ्यार परफॉर्मन्स ऑफ द गव्हर्मेंट. परफॉर्मन्स ऑफ द गव्हर्मेंटाची स्लायड पहिली पळोवया. तुम्ही पळयतात की 51% पीपल से दॅट द परफॉर्मन्स ऑफ द गव्हर्मेंट इज इदर गुड ऑर व्हेरी गुड. 38% रेट इट एज एवरेज and 11% straight away call it poor. विष्णुबाब तुम्ही कशी एनालायज करतले की जेन्ना एक सामके परिवर्तन म्हणजे वारें आयलें आनी तें वारें येवन एक 1.5 वर्सां भितर इट इज जस्ट 51%, जस्ट अबव लिटल अबव हाफ. हाउ वूड यू एनालायज इट?
ना, म्हाका दिसता हें जें चित्र दिसता तें बरें आसा चित्र. 51% सुद्दां बरें म्हणप म्हणजे निदान अर्दें पॉप्युलेशन एक खुशा असो जालो. बाकीचे आता काय पारंपारीक विरोधक हे आसतलेच, तांचे दृश्टीन ते पुअरूच आसतले, ते केन्नाच बरें म्हणचे ना. पण जे एवरेज म्हणटात तांचे असेसमेंट हे थोडेशे विचार करपा सारखे आसा. जे 51% लोकांक सरकारचे परफॉर्मन्स बरें दिसता हे सरकारचेच वटेचे लोक आसतले अशें म्हणूं जायना. कदाचित ते 35% आसूं येता, पण बाकीचे जे खरे जजमेंट करी लोक हे हातून अर्दे आसूं येता आनी एवरेजान अर्दे आसूं येता जे एवरेज म्हणटा ते. सो ओवरऑल एवरेज म्हणजे कितें वायट न्ही, साधारण. सो ते दोनूय जर कंबायन करत जाल्यार सरकारचे परफॉर्मन्स बरेच आसा अजून मेरेन लोकांचे नदरेन.
So you agree with this? He's just adding those 38% to the 51% and saying that it almost touches 90%.
What is really nice is to see Vishnu give a robust defense of the BJP government. That is the important thing. No, I think more than anything else, if one has to analyze this just as a common citizen, is when you say 51% that is good, it is relative to something, and it is relative to this, with due apologies to Mr. Kalap, relative to the horrendous governance that we had at the time of the last government. I think that is the comparison in my mind at a subconscious level that people were trying to make, that maybe we are a little better off than what we were in the previous government. So on those parameters,
there is at least a feel-good factor, you are saying.
I don't think it's about a feel-good factor. It's about it could have been worse factor. You understood the destabilization, the political games that each of the satraps in the Congress were playing the last time round, the absolutely violent mining scandals and the real estate scandals, etc. All these things, there is some kind of a lid on this. But clearly, I think as you go through the survey, which at least whatever I've read through, you will realize that Manohar Parrikar, which is basically the face of the BJP, and I think this is basically an analysis on Manohar Parrikar and hardly the BJP government, in my opinion, is that Manohar Parrikar made an excellent job as the leader of opposition to highlight all these issues that were plaguing Goa. But he's certainly fallen way short, woefully short, as the chief minister when he was in a position to actually articulate and solve the issues.
By किती दिसतात या 38% and 11% are straight away saying that it is poor, 38% call it average, 51% call it good. आणि विष्णू वाघाच्या मताप्रमाणे ऑलमोस्ट 90% लोक आमकां 37 आसात म्हण.
विष्णूक हांव दोश दिना. प्रश्न असो आसा की फाटले फावटचें काँग्रेसचें गव्हर्मेंट जें जालें त्या गव्हर्मेंटच्या बद्दल आतां डॉक्टर रिबेलो उलयले आहेत. अनेक प्रकारचे आघात त्या सरकारचे झाले. बरेचशे आघात त्या वेळच्या सरकारच्या चुकांमुळे. इट वॉज दे इन्वायटेड दोज क्रिटिसिझम. आणि भितरल्यान एक लोकां मदीं एक अशी अपेक्षा निर्माण जाली आता हे नाका एक नव्या कोणा तरी हाडुया म्हणून. त्या वेळार इलेक्शन ज्या वेळार जालें त्या वेळार पर्रीकर आनी BJPक लोकांनी बरें तेंगशे धरून दवरले. एका वर्सा भितर त्या तेंगशे वयल्यान तो जर अर्दे वाटेक सकयल उतरता तर ह्या सरकार बद्दल लोकांच्या मनात अत्यंत नाखुशी निर्माण झाली.
तुम्ही किती म्हणता देड वर्सा भितर एंटी इन्कम्बन्सी दिसपा
लागली तर ह्या सरकारान खंयच्या मुद्द्याचेर सांगचें की आमी बरें काम करता म्हणून. लोकांचे जी अपेक्षा आसा ती अपेक्षा पांयतळी ताणें तुडयल्या हें दिश्टी पडटा. आनी विशेषता एक एड करता हांव. BJPचे फेस मुख्यमंत्री पर्रीकर अशें म्हणटा. लोकशायेन हें योग्य आसा. Why shouldn't Vishnu be also a face of BJP? Why shouldn't that Nayanand Madrekar or Tavadkar or anyone should be the face of BJP? Why should one man be the face of BJP? In what sort of democratic rule are we?
Is it wrong by having one leader who is tall enough to take the whole organization?
Tall enough that बाकीच्यांक तरी वयर काढ मरे हातान धरून तू. Bring them up to your size, if not the full size. Bring them up to your at least shoulder level.
देड वर्सा भितर बायच्या म्हणण्याप्रमाणे एंटी इन्कम्बन्सी दिसपाक लागल्या.
म्हाका ह्या सर्वे बद्दलच दुबाव आसा. कारण हो जर अंक जर तुमी पळयत जाल्यार भोवतेक कडेन परफॉर्मन्स इज व्हेरी व्हेरी शॉर्ट ऑफ कळटा. अपेक्षेच्या भंग ताणें केला. अपेक्षा इन्क्लुडींग कोयर धरून ह्यो ज्यो बेजीक गजाली आसा त्याचे जर अपेक्षा जर भंग जाला तर 51% गुड म्हणपाक म्हाका दुबाव आसा. सो हो इतलोच चूक आनी बाकी सगळें बरोबर काय कितें?
No, I would still feel that it is about 51% feeling they're better off than what we were 5 years back. But certainly, I think if you were to ask people, and I think that is also there as part of your question, are you happy with your state of life at the present moment?
Yeah,
there will
we'll come to that question. Yes, we'll come to that.
आणि मगर निमाणे एक वाक्य उलयता की कितें जालां गोंयान भितर काँग्रेसीच्या वेळार पळय सगळे अर्दांतल्यान एक टिकेचे पळय जो एक रोख जो आशिल्लो, ऑपोजिशन पार्टी सक्षम आशिल्ली, मिडिया पॉवरफुल आनी सामकी अटॅकिंग आशिल्ली, आज तशें दिसना. तरी आसतना जर लोक जर ह्यो सगळ्यो जर गजाली आयल्यात जाल्यार खरेंच बरें आयल्यात. लोकांनी सारकें केलां आनी हांव कॉंग्रेच्युलेट करता आमचे सुजय बाबाक. कारण एक बरो ताणें सर्वे दिला आनी पर्रेकारान आत्मपरीक्षण करपाक
खूब सुजय your headlines say that still the man but not quite the hero.
Okay, I'll answer that question by actually reading out some figures from the survey.
Yeah.
Because to set the
what is the fine print of this?
Correct. That's very critical.
Yeah.
Okay. This figure of 51% is basically because of heavy support. I mean, heavy support in the sense that more number of people from the higher income groups have given him a thumbs up.
Okay.
And that has really taken this whole figure up to a large extent.
Yeah.
See, that is extremely critical because
that is dangerous because the high income don't go to vote. The low income people go to vote.
Because
but how are you going to analyze? Is this that government of elite? Are you calling this government of elite? Sujay?
Let's go through a few other figures and then I think I'll just stick to the hard facts at this point in time. Okay. Now, for instance, rating across three of the most significant parameters.
Yeah.
Time to government, promise fulfillment and performance. The middle and the lowest income groups have sent out the strongest signals. See, for instance, 22% in the lower income groups want a change in the government right now, as I said.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, 22% in the small income groups say that the government will not be able to deliver on promises.
Okay.
While the higher income groups, the same figure is 14% and 18%. So 22% on the low income group says that we are not confident that the government will deliver on promises.
आयलो सुरवातीक ते म्हळ्यार परफॉर्मन्स ऑफ द चीफ मिनिस्टर. आता ऑस्कराने म्हळें की इट इज एसेंशियली चीफ मिनिस्टर मनोहर पर्रीकर गव्हर्मेंट एंड द बीजेपी गव्हर्मेंट. सो वील सी परफॉर्मन्स ऑफ सीएम. आनीक एक इंटरेस्टिंग गजाल म्हणजे कितें व्हडलो फरक ना,
जवळपास ते
including if we are saying that Manohar Parrikar is a towering figure, then even that towering figure has succeeded in getting only 53% as good, 36% call him average and 10% call him poor. Vishnu, अब मनोहर पर्रीकराक 36% आणि एव्हरेज बी म्हणप ना जमना.
आता तुम्हीच सांगता की सरकार म्हणजे मनोहर पर्रीकर आणि जवळजवळ सरकारच्या बद्दल जे ओपिनियन आहे तेच ओपिनियन आसा. सो इट गोज पीपल हॅव एक्सेप्टेड गव्हर्मेंट मीन्स मनोहर पर्रीकर.
पण मनोहर पर्रीकर जेन्ना इंडिव्हिज्युअल परफॉर्मन्स म्हणटा आमी, दॅट इंडिव्हिज्युअल परफॉर्मन्स शुड हॅव बीन मोर दॅन 53%. डोंट यू फील सो?
कितें जाता पळय सांगता, लोक जेन्ना सरकार कडच्यान अपेक्षा दवरतात, प्रत्यक्षात अपेक्षा कोणा कडच्यान आसतात? अपेक्षा त्यो सरकार चलोवपी मनशा कडल्यानच आसतात. सरकार चलोवपी मनशान अपेक्षा जर त्यो हें केल्यो पूर्ण केल्यो जाल्यार लोक समाधानी जातात. बरोबर. समज एक इंडिव्हिज्युअल मंत्र्या कडल्यान कोण दवरिना की हो मंत्री समाज कल्याण मंत्र्यान हें केलें, उद्योग मंत्र्यान तें केलें, अमुक वीज मंत्र्यान हें केलें, तें केलें, तें असेसमेंट लोक करना. एक कलेक्टीव सरकार हे कलेक्टीव जबाबदारीचेर चलता. जबाबदारी कलेक्टीव आसा ती मुख्यमंत्र्याचेर आसता.
म्हाका हें मान्य ना. फाटले आतां म्हयनोभर जाले गोंयान भितर अक्षरशः काळखाचें साम्राज्य काळोख वता. लोक म्हणटा न्ही ह्या पावर मिनिस्टरा कडेन मिनिस्ट्री कार्ड म्हणून विष्णू कडेन दिवची.
म्हाका दिवपाचें लेट मी मेक वन शेबदळ भाईनूय पळय म्हणलें की एकूच मनोहर पर्रीकर तुमकां दिसता. अशें मोनोलिथीक स्ट्रक्चर आज प्रत्येक पक्षान आसा. दुर्दैवान तूं भारतांतलो खंयचोय पक्ष घे, हांव चॅलेंज मारता तुका, मोनोलिथीक स्ट्रक्चर नाशिल्लो एक
मोनोलिथीक स्ट्रक्चराचो विष्णू फायदो जाता काय नुकसाण जाता?
फायदो नुकसाण न्ही. आज दुर्दैव अशें की डेमोक्रेसीन लोकांक तें स्विकारचें पडलां. रायट फ्रॉम काँग्रेस. आता काँग्रेस पळय, सोनिया गांधी सोडून थंय दुसरे कोण आहा? सपा पळय, मुलायम सिंग सोडून दुसरो कोण आसा? बसपा पळय, मायावती सोडून दुसरे कोण आसा? शिवसेना पळय, बाळासाहेब उद्धव.
तूं ताका दुर्दैव म्हणटा पण ती गरज जाल्या.
ती गरज जावन पडल्या, कदाचित लोकांनी केल्या किंवा खंयच्या तरी कारणां खातीर जाल्या.
ओके, तर म्हाका एक गजाल सांगात, दॅट मोनोलिथिक स्ट्रक्चर इटसेल्फ हॅज सक्सिडेड इन गार्नरिंग 53%. should it have been more, considering the overall towering figure and the whole charisma of Manohar Parrikar?
Yeah, I would want to go a little beyond this. Vis-a-vis the Congress and the BJP, which is the two basic parties that we're looking at. One, of course, principally I disagree with the fact that you can have one dictator ruling and not delegating responsibility and powers down the line. This is such a dangerous trend from a very democratic process, but also from the fact, and this is very, very important, where the BJP has to realize, as the years progress, or as the time progresses, and those issues do not get solved, just as much that 21 seats and so many people voted for Manohar Parrikar as the big hero and gave him this mandate in 2012. If the disillusionment with Manohar Parrikar, forget about the BJP, with Manohar Parrikar really starts coming down and turns into anger, what will suffer is the BJP. Because as much as all those BJP MLAs got elected because of Manohar Parrikar that we believe, the last time round, if the disillusionment with Manohar Parrikar becomes so severe, all those BJP MLAs who stand for elections are going to get a tanning the next time round. So Manohar Parrikar has to perform, has to be a Narendra Modi like.
My question is this enough?
For 1.5 years, certainly this is not enough. So
not
this
enough.
Perception, yes, to my mind, Manohar Parrikar on the issues is losing the perception battle. It's about a perception battle. Remember what happens in the Congress, whether it's a Mosarat, whether it's a Vishwajit, whether it's an Alamau. Don't write these guys off. They are local satraps who've got lot of loyalty. They have, taken care of food, education, meals. They've looked after families in their constituency. So that vote is not going to go anywhere. The BJP gets, or at least got in 2012, a lot of the thinking vote. So now that thinking vote starts getting disillusioned. This middle income group, lower income group, which are also very, very highly thinking, politically savvy.
Correct.
That goes away from the BJP would be in trouble. And I think that might start happening in the parliamentary elections.